Gather, veterans. It's time to join the fight. The long war begins.
This is Long War. I'm Robbie B, and joining me once again are my partners in crime, Kenny Boucher and Steven Ford. What's up, guys?
Yo, dog, great to be here.
Yo, what's happening, everybody?
So we got a really exciting show. Obviously, it's not a dream. KS is actually coming back, or it's been here the whole time, depending on who you ask.
Just don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years.
So we have obviously lots to say about that. The actual title of the show tonight is How Could Traitors Hate Fix Chaos Space Marines? And we have quite a bit to say about that, trust me. So stay tuned for that one. They'll probably take up a lot of the show, I imagine, if I know us. And I think
don't get me started talking about chaos. Like,
nope,
fuck.
You're not allowed yet. Zip it. But we do have a great tabletop market watch, of course, because there's always new stuff coming out, obviously. Forge Roll just dropped the Mastodon, so, you know, if you want to spend $450 or whatever on a...
I always want to spend $450.
On a tank, on one tank. It does have 40k rules.
Is that how much that thing is?
It's 300 pounds, so what is that? Hold on, quick math.
I think
what's that in real dollars?
I think that's down. I think it's like isn't it like at $1.43?
$3.90. $3.90 if you do it at 130. I think
so
it is.
Definitely trigger free shipping. So
yeah, you don't need to add anything else to your order. You're good.
Hey, Robbie B, are the rules out for it?
Yeah, there's rules out for it actually. Let's see. It does have. Well, it has rules in 30K. It does have rules for 40K as well. I don't know if a lot of people caught that. There is a download section on the product page. It is 700 points. Experimental, of course, air quotes. But what was the cool thing about this I liked? It's got 2 void shields. It can carry 40 models. It may also...
How many points in the game is it?
700.
Whew.
14, 14, 10, ballistic skill 4, vehicle super heavy, of course. It does have armor ceramite, turret mounted Sky Reaper battery, which is that AA gun, 2 twin mounted las cannons, 2 sponson mounted heavy flamers, a fixed forward siege melta array, which is actually pretty dope. But what I thought was neat was it can carry 40 models, may also carry up to 2 dreadnoughts.
Oh shit. Is it an assault vehicle? Tell me it's a fucking assault vehicle.
It is an assault vehicle.
So it can carry 40 models and 2 dreadnoughts, or 40 models or 2 dreadnoughts.
It may also carry up to 2 dreadnoughts of the following types: Space Marine dreadnoughts, Ironclad, Space Marine Venerable, Chaplain, Furioso, Death Company, Librarian.
Best believe there's gonna be 2 Furioso dreadnoughts in that motherfucker.
But it counts as 10 models respectively. That's fair.
So it can have
20.
10 Marines and 2 dreadnoughts.
20 Marines and 2
Marines
dreadnoughts.
and 2 dreadnoughts.
Oh, 20 Marines. Oh,
yeah,
shit.
its capacity is 40.
But you can play it in 40K too?
Yeah, this is the experimental rules I'm reading you.
And so on the list of dreadnoughts, is the Space Wolf dreadnoughts on there too?
Nope.
Damn. Because they're like the only Space Marines outside of like Black Templar that get fucking 20-man squads.
They do have Contemptors, so that's kind of neat to see.
But it could take, obviously super heavy, it could take multiple units, so it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Can it take jetpacks and bikes? I assume it can, because it can take dreadnoughts.
It doesn't say. No, it doesn't say. It's a Lord Award choice for any detachment with the faction Space Marine, Blood Angel, Dark Angel, Space Wolf, or Grey Knights. When selected as faction Grey Knights, the relic of the armory special rule is ignored, but that vehicle may not purchase upgrades other than those that are listed here. But how does relic of the armory even work now? Because they don't have the Reclusiarch doesn't exist, and neither does that. What was this fancy name for the Tech Marine that doesn't exist anymore? That's weird.
I don't fucking know.
A Forge Father.
Is that? Yeah, that's it. Those don't exist in the Marine Codex anymore.
I was thinking. I mean, right out the gate, I'm like double Furiosos, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Thunderhammer Terminators with a fucking secondary priest.
That is respectable.
I like where your head's at.
Right.
So check. It's got enhanced defensive fire, which is really cool. As long as one unit occupies the Mastodon It can overwatch with a responsive amount of weapons when assaulted. And it's carried out a ballistic skill 2. And in the case of Mastodon's Heavy Flamer, D3 plus 1 automatic hits are inflicted per Heavy Flamer on the assaulting unit that is fired upon.
I'm at 1,405 points. Let me bang some scouts out real quick.
Are you making an army with it?
1,515 points. I'm gonna drop one fucking Terminator, or make him have lightning claws. Oh,
There it is, lightning
three,
claws.
no, three of them have lightning claws now. So you have 6 Thunderhammer Terminators, 3 with lightning claws, 2 fucking units of scouts, fucking sanguinary priests, 2 Furiosa Dreadnoughts in this motherfucker. 1,500 points.
Ooh.
Wow. 700
Wanted army builder right now.
How many points you said? It was 700, right?
Yeah, it's 700.
Yeah, I play that 1,500 point list.
I can
But also-
definitely get behind that.
But I also want to conversely say, for 700 points, you can get 6 squads of tactical marines with grav cannons and combi grabs and free rhinos from Gladius for 50 grab shots and objective secure, and inside their free rhinos.
Heard that was also good too.
So I just want, I mean, like, as awesome it is to play. So this is like the 40k I like to play is definitely like the Furiosas and this deal. Like, that's the shit right there. Not the fucking, I've got 6 fucking identical units that fucking have free shit. Like, there's definitely one of these is cooler than the other, and one of them's gonna win more games than the other.
Yeah, no doubt there. But this is, this thing right here is the epitome of bringing hobby back, I feel like.
Oh, I'm all over this army list.
Yeah, I mean, you can paint it with like all the stuff with the hatches open. You can check it all out, and oh man, it'd be so fresh. Ugh, so ridiculous. So that was the big release for Forge World this week, and of course we've got coming out this week the new monthly White Dwarf, which I guess there's a lot of people still waiting on their copies to come in. Technically, street date is until Saturday, but some people in Europe have been getting them. Also, the kill teams, remember Lunchhammer, Combat Patrol, all that, basically all those games that you could play in 1 hour, they're coming out with the new rules core set for kill team, updated to 7th.
Oh, wow.
Which I'm sure we'll be doing some of those here.
Oh, shit, yeah, we are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you guys have to squeeze them in between all the fucking Toughness, Dreadnought battle reports and all the fucking Age of Sigmar battle reports.
Holla.
People love our Age of Sigmar battle report. We definitely have to do some more of those.
I loved it too. Like, it was fun to watch. Having no knowledge of the game, like watching, like editing through that, it was amazing.
Yeah, guys, head on over to Long War Facebook page and check out Barely Tabletop Skaven paint job going in right now. Like, I'm gonna have these. I mean, I've already got 1,000 points of Skaven fully ready to go to bring out for you guys. We're actually, and for people who have already watched the first Age of Sigmar battle report, you'll know that that's what the point values that we're sticking around. I have already the crack has been sniffing, pain has been sniffing up my nose. I immediately had to turn that 1,000 points into 2,000 points within the past week. So I am ready to go.
I love it because it's not like let's do a quick 1,500. It's not 2K, dog.
Yep.
Yeah.
Does 2K unlock the 6-foot table?
Yes, it does.
Sweet.
Yeah, we're going to be doing some 1K, and then, we might scale it up, because I made the Ogre army that's 2K, basically, and that's scalable to 2,500 with, like, 2 more models.
Is that 2K with 11 models?
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah, and you want to know what, like, again, I don't want to go off on too many Age of Sigmar rants every Wednesday, but, guys, like, I think Age of Sigmar has like the perfect balance of, all right, let's play horde armies like Warhammer has always been, right? It's always been rank and file with some rando hero hammer involved, but nothing of the colossal monstrosities that they're making now that, in my opinion, are just gorgeous. But like, Rob, now that you were saying that, like, my 2,000 point Skaven army is like 4 behemoths and, let's see, 20 or 30 clan rats, like and like a block of 30 storm vermin. Like, ultimately for a Skaven army, that's pretty small model count wise, where, I used to run back in 6th edition fantasy, like, I would bang down 120 clan rats in every list almost. Like, 60 to 70 storm vermin, and then I'd throw in squeak or something. That was the base. Maybe like a doom wheel or two. But like now, you're telling me my vermin lords, which I am so in love with. Like I actually we talked about it too, of making lists with 2 or 3 or 4 of those guys. But like the very well point costed between 200 and 400 points for these behemoths. There's no way you can't see 2 or 3 in everybody's army. And the cool thing is buy a single model, paint it up, and that's a good chunk of points to project you into that next point category.
No, it's 100% true, and definitely pick up the General's Handbook so you can check out all the compulsory requirements. AKA the troops to HQs. The stuff we're talking about, the monstrous creature and their equivalents in Age of Sigmar. It's all very doable, to be quite honest. And a lot of times, if you pick a specific faction out of they call them battle tomes or codexes. Then you unlock other things that normally, like say an elite choice, something that would normally be an elite choice. Well, now it's your troop choice for Age of Sigmar. So, be cognizant of the rules there. And a lot of the cool stuff, like, for me, for ogres, like the Morfang Cavalry, those are a battle line if I field, Beastclaw faction or battle tome. So there's all sorts of different ways, or I can just play ogres on foot. And that would just be a generic destruction army, which I could ally in, Oruks, the ogre or the orcs themselves. I could even, bring in all sorts of things out of the destruction book. So it's really cool to see the dynamic and kind of how it all works. And it's a fun game. Like I had to yell at somebody the other day. I didn't yell at them, but I just turned around and I said, "You're wrong. Your statement's ignorant. Stop it." And I just turned back because I get that a lot of hate on the internet, and for somebody to just spout something off that never even tried the game while I'm trying to struggle to learn and try to figure out how to play the game with somebody else and just have somebody naysaying 10 feet away from me, it was a little discouraging. But there is a huge level of tactfulness to the game that you might not realize at first, but once you start playing it and all these can I, could I questions start popping up and you start checking it, you're like, oh, wait a minute, this is huge, this is big. So take everything you know about every game you've ever played, or 40k and fantasy, throw it out the window and read through the rules with an open mind, because they are way different than what you even expect or perceive them to be at the time. I mean, when me and Juice were playing, we made a bunch of mistakes because, again, I had not, realized how everything worked. Even for a 4-page rule set, you know what I mean? And one could say that's literally my job, but it is that complex in 4 pages of rules. Mostly because, you have a lot of preconceived notions, but just throw them all out the window, start fresh, start with a blank slate, read through it. It's pretty fresh, I won't lie. So let's talk about some Chaos releases for next week. They're not quite to the Chaos part of the show yet tonight, but for next week, we are seeing that there will be, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 releases, not including Black Library stuff. Almost all except for one are actual Chaos releases. So we got the Heretic Astartes Psychic Power cards, which are apparently these things are. We were talking. Evan Valdite came in on the webcast and was like, "Hey, that power that's been spoiled, the what was it, the Ectomancy power? That is an exact carbon copy of the Fulmination power Lightning Arc." So, I got an email today basically saying that those new Chaos Psychic powers will be the exact same ones that came in the Angels of Death book. The Fulmination, the Technomancy, the Geokinesis, and the other one I forgot. But how fresh is that they're just basically taking the same power, converting it over to bad guy side, and then putting it out? That opens up a lot of doors, I feel like, army construction.
Absolutely. I think that there's a lot of positiveness into them doing some stuff like that. And to be honest, if the good guys have got it and it's really solid, the worst thing that they can ever fucking do is consistently let Space Marines get good powers and then feel that obligatory, oh yeah, we got to have create chaos powers, and then they suck balls. because they're fluffy. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Like, not only is it a slap in the face to say,
Man,
let's give,
yeah, for real. Like, look, if you open the Chaos Codex up and you look at like the Chaos Space Marine second powers, because like, so we have our own set of second powers, and until this moment, Space Marines has their own set of second powers, right? Until we get our special second powers that mirror theirs, theirs are 6 power charts, not 3 power charts, and they're good. You know, like it's like the best power we have on 4 disciplines is a random fake and feeble.
yeah.
You know, like here's the best part about like Gifted Contagion is like I can say, oh, let's see what it is. Is it enfeeble or is it -1 attack or -1 strength, right? If I get the like -1 attack, like, and I put it on you, you also gain the stealth special. So like I'm literally taking an attack away from you and giving you stealth. Like it's
Is
like
that a real thing?
that's real.
Oh my Jesus.
That's real, dog. That's
Like,
Yeah.
I want to say this. I didn't even realize that, and that's been out before the NID book. It's like, damn, you know, I thought GW came up with the whole, like, go screw yourself NID player table where it's, you know, you make your NIDs have to take leadership checks or all these negative things happen. Like, do you know how messed up it would have been if, like, roll this leadership check for my Termagants? Oh, your enemy gets preferred enemy against you. What? What did you just say? Like, your enemy gets +1 to hit you because you're out in the cover. Like, are you for real right now?
Yeah, it's gonna be a boon to say the least. And you know we'll get into more expectations and things about the book later in the show here tonight. I feel like so there is a limited edition book set coming out as well, which looks to have like the sweet like treatment that we've seen all the other books getting. You know, the brass etched coins and posters and fluff books and things. So it's 29. What does it say? 29 Heretic Psychic Power cards, objective cards, presented in the luxurious new formats. Luxurious.
when does this collector's book come out?
That will go on pre-order this Saturday the 3rd. Is it the 3rd this Saturday or the 2nd? The 3rd. So that'll go on pre-order, and I'm sure promptly sell out as well. But I'm sure it'll be like $200 as well.
$200. I'm quickly putting in a quick email right here. Email reminder. I need this book.
My chaos chip is going off, and then of course there's just the Traitors Hate supplement itself for $50 hardcover, which will also all this stuff will go up on pre-order on GW's site on Saturday. Karn and Betrayers coming out too. The new one they showcased, $35, which it seems a little high, kind of going off of some of the pricing that they've done in the past on their clan packs. I feel like, but I can understand where they have kind of put all the retooling and redevelopment into it. I can kind of see the price point, but it's still a little disappointing. It feels a little high to me based off of
what's the price point?
35
for Karn.
Yeah.
That seems kind of anti what they've been doing with all these.
Right. The aggressive pricing they did with the Death Watch. I mean, you have freaking the one Terminator captive for 25.
I've got guys who can get 25-point guns that are like literally the best gun on earth for less than Karn, who basically gets killed if a power fist hits him.
And can never get there because there's no real good way to deliver him, so to speak.
You could put him in a corn dog unit and like kind of like keep him in the back and then challenge yourself into situations until you challenge yourself into a fucking chapter master. Fucking, and he's like, let me just hit a couple of 3-ups. Got it. You fail 1-5 up vulnerable. I win.
Some champion at corn.
Yeah, seriously, man. Like,
the
since the heresy, like you've been fucking fools up since the heresy, and you can't kill a chapter master.
Oh, I bet you Karn's like really like that dude, the Imperial Guard, Sephias Kane, where he always acts like he's a badass, but really not. He's like hiding in the back.
Let me just go ahead and say, if you guys are talking Karn about like he's that, what in the shitballs is Lucius the Eternal then?
Have you read Lucius the Eternal book? That motherfucker is a bad motherfucker. Like it's like Was everyone just a bitch back in the Heresy days?
I swear, like back in the Heresy days, like they talk about these epic stories about how badass these characters are. Like, I just need to know one thing: what was the level of peons that Lucius the Ballsack Eternal was slaughtering? Like, could Kenny? Could you and I get warped into the 30th or into?
I feel like based on this stat line, like I feel like we could be Space Marines in 30K.
Yeah.
Like we would be okay to go into the project. You know, like the whole like gene therapy, stir away, fucking esophagus, give us power armor. I think we could make it as a Space Marine 30K. Like whereas in 40K, like I mean. I'd be like a basic Imperial Guardsman at best, man. Like, you know, I'd be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, dog. Like, I think
Slime Harborough coming up on.
I mean, a lot changes in 10,000 years. Let's be honest.
I think it's obviously propaganda. It's Imperial propaganda. Like, they were not as tight as they say they were. I mean, just look at fucking. I mean, Abaddon's a great example. Abaddon is a beast. Don't get me wrong, but like the scourge of all time, like you know, like. That dude will also lose into a fist fight with a fucking chapter master.
Yeah, they definitely need a bit of an update, and I'm sure we have quite a bit to say about that. The last new thing that's coming out this week, or goes on pre-order this week, is the Favorite of Chaos Army box, which is Kenny's favorite. 1 Demon Prince and 3 Squads of Possessed, I believe.
Oh, yeah, you best believe I'm going to be buying 6 of those.
I speak sarcasm, and I understand what you're saying.
God.
The worst. But that rounds out the Chaos releases. So not sure if there'll be more, there'll be less, if they'll string these out over. Oh, something definitely to talk about is the Void Shield Generator is coming back in plastic. This time.
When is that going up?
That also goes out for sale this week.
Any idea on the price point on that?
$100.
Wow. Savagery.
Mm-hmm. In plastic, so no limit. No Limit Soldiers.
And is it the exact same look and everything else?
It looks like it in the picture. I mean, it probably doesn't go together quite the same because it's going to be plastic and all.
Yeah, absolutely. That was so clutch how the limited edition ones basically just fitted into slots. No glue required.
No, I imagine there's more opportunities for doing.
That's good news. I'm gonna need one for my orcs because I'm gonna do an orky power field generator, void shield generator, like the custom force field.
Oh,
cool. So it's good to know I can get one, not for $1 billion, that I can just hack to pieces and put orc glyphs on anyway.
Or one big solid chunk.
Yeah, I wanted it to be. Have that feel of like the orc custom force field back in the day, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and also I'm so happy that they've done some stuff like this because, Jesus Christ, guy, how many times have we went somewhere and you see the BS void shield generators and they're like, oh well, I couldn't find it, you know, or ultimately this is.
Yeah, seriously, everybody should. Everybody's on blast now.
Everyone's gonna have it for 20% off. Like it's $80. Just say it's $80. So
yeah. Like,
what have you bought in 40K that wasn't $80 in the last 3 weeks? You know, like, fuck out of here.
Good point. Or Age of Sigmar now, I feel like. So, well, that's pretty much it. That's everything that's coming out. And like I said, we're not sure if these are going to be spread out over the month or what's going on because GW's got this new monthly White Dwarf thing, but that's the stuff that the White Dwarf says is coming out for this month. So take that with as many grains of salt as you can hold in your hand.
I'll take it with all the salt.
Salty tears. Salty tears.
Kenny, I feel like this is a great lead into the next part of how much salt are you going to have all over your hands and face if the first supplement that you read in this new chaos is literally like Abaddon, 12 squads of chosen, and for free your bonus that you get. None of it is objective secure, but the bonus you get is they all get free crack and frag grenades. They all, as a free bonus, you can take a third specialty weapon or something like that. You know, some absolute just shenanigans.
Let me put it this way. Earlier today, just talking about this while we were in between the webcast and the podcast, I went and made myself a bowl of chips. It was the crumbs of some salted corn chips, tortillas. So it's just like basically a pile of corn and salt, right? And then I reached into my cabinet and pulled out beer lime salt.
Okay.
This actually happened. Then I salted my chips with beer lime salt, and then reached into my refrigerator and grabbed a jar of salsa verde and just dumped it all over all that, and ate it with a spoon in preparation for this discussion.
So I need to know right now, you made a salty chip salsa cereal.
Yes. That's what I was
Motivated by the tears of chaos players everywhere.
In preparation for the salt levels that you might need to be at in 7 days.
Yep. I need to get my diet right before I fucking open this codex.
Oh.
I think Kenny, or excuse me, I think Rob said it best in the webcast. Like, how sad are you gonna be? Or if it's not, it's like ultimately, I am so prepared for this to be shit.
It's like I said, man. It's like you had that girlfriend in college. She was with you for 3 years, and then she left. And then 2 months later, she's like, I want to get back together. And you're like, look, when you left, the hurt was just so much. Like, I don't know if I'm ready for this. So it's either going to be like, I'm not going to get back with you, or we're moving right into an apartment together.
I'm pretty sure that's where we're at with Chaos, and that's the way I feel. I mean, ask me the last time I played with my Iron Warriors. I've literally had them for...
Fuck, dude, I tried to play with them many times for you, and I'm just like, God damn it. The fucking so bad. The highlight of all the games I played was this one time this Corn Berserker fucking killed a fucking Ravener, remember?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh, it did. I remember that. Actually, I was getting ready to say, I think we've played with your Iron Warriors more than you have, Robbie B.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind.
And the safety of the Beats Lab, a safe place.
Yeah.
making the hobby safe.
For my Iron Warriors. Gosh, so brutal. I still got to rebase them, too. Oh, my goodness. So many tutorials to be had.
Well, luckily, Juice has got the secret tech, so.
He does.
Yo, no doubt. Secret recipe coming soon.
Do you want to do a webcast recap before we jump into it?
I don't really have much for the webcast recap besides, what was that? Sean was saying he was going to run a
absolutely.
Or going to play him.
Yeah, Sean Sullen was letting us know that the hobby store in Maryland. Do you have that name one more time?
Titan Games and Hobbies in Timonium, Maryland.
Yeah, that they're doing a Bringing the Hobby Back tournament, the Long War style, and he's normally runs Iron Hands Gladius / Iron Hands massive Death Star.
Unkillable Death Star Iron Hand Immortal Unit. Yeah, like no, for sure.
So that's what he's used to running, and he's like, "Yo,
and
should
it's
I run that?"
Unpainted too.
Yeah, mostly unpainted, right? So he's going to a Long War, Bringing the Hobby Back tournament, and is either going to play in his mind one of his normal tournament lists that is unpainted powerhouse list, or he's got 15 fresh ass Iron Hands painted dreadnoughts. Now I want all you guys out there that are listening not to be like, oh yeah, obviously you take this. Like, no, you've had this inner struggle with yourself. Like, I really want to win 40K, so I always bring the OP shit. But then you're like, no, pull the trigger on the 15 dreadnoughts. It didn't take us 3 minutes of us talking, and Sean's like, boom, I'm in. It's gonna be the dreadnought. I'm gonna make that list work. Super excited. He's gonna let us know how it goes. But everybody at home, pull the trigger on your own self, and let's make Bringing the Hobby Back work.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think.
Now, did he say if he had any Contemptor dreadnoughts or anything?
I don't think he specified.
There's no way you have 13 Iron Hands dreadnoughts and you don't have a Contemptor dreadnought.
Well, to be honest, they just came out in plastic. They were like $80 for those things, for the longest time for Forge World.
Yeah, like literally just the bottle was 80 without weapon.
Like, think about the math on it. Like, if you say I have 13 Iron Hands dreadnoughts, like, you got to have at least like 2 Contemptors.
I mean, it's a high probability.
To be honest, I would say he has at least 4 Ironclads.
Yeah, no, I mean that's not. So I'm looking at a list that kind of like lets him play his Death Star in a mini star capacity, but still has dreadnoughts. Because I'm saying, obviously, if you're playing an Iron Hands army, you got to have the Gorgon Chain Chapter Master. That's you can't give someone shit for that, You got to play the Gorgon Chain Chapter Master, and you got to stick him in a command squad so that he gets to have an apothecary. Like that's you got
That's
to.
the epitome of Iron Hands.
And you got to have a chaplain too. Like just make it this amazing squad. So like I'm straight up saying he takes that Chapter Master, he takes the command squad with all storm shields, apothecary, and some grav guns. And he takes some scouts, or actually you can do all tactical marines and rhinos, and with some special weapons. And you basically can do 2 CADs, and you can take between the 2 CADs you can take 5 ironclad dreadnoughts and drop pods. You can have a chaplain and a bike to go with your command squad, and you're only at like 1,500 points. So if you have some Contemptor dreadnoughts, you can like slide 2 Contemptor dreadnoughts in the list, and now you have 7 dreadnoughts, 5 of them coming down on drop pods and 2 of them laying down support, as you're flying the star up. And you can't give anyone shit theme-wise because it's a theme and comp list. So you're saying this is Iron Hands, and we're storming you with dreadnoughts.
Yeah, with a mini star that is very powerful, but at the same time very manageable. But it is still it's got grav, it will not die, not special rule.
You've got a unit of guys of 4 funeral pain and 1 guy with 3 funeral pain, and they have a chaplain to augment their offense. So it's not, and they don't have hit and run, they don't have second powers. You've got some fucking tactical squad to take objectives, and you're just bringing the ironclad heat, ironclads in an Iron Hands army.
Loving it. All kind of kitted out with every kind of weapon and whatnot. Like
you can literally do everything, bro. You can just say everyone has everything, or you can say I just got seismic hammers and power fists, and then fucking my 2 Contemptor dreadnoughts have all the guns.
So, Kenny, in the webcast tonight, you had brought up on one of the platforms that a guy had chimed in. For anybody who's listening to this that doesn't know, we dropped the inaugural Dreadnoughts Have Toughness Values battle reports from the Beats Lab, episode 1 of 2, that is going to be coming out, and it's 1,250 points. For all the other details, go become a veteran of Long War, go check out the video, let us know what you think. But basically, we were running those at what we've talked about multiple times, where it's their toughness 7. I'm a Dreadnought, and I'm toughness 7 with 4 wounds.
I'm a monstrous creature, homie.
I'm a monstrous creature, and I bought the 25-point venerableness for him, so they have feel no pain. So now I'm toughness 7, 3 up save will feel no pain. Well, within a day or two of it being live, we had a great fan of the show say, "Hey, why not?" That's basically Terminator armor, right?
Yeah, because a Terminator is a tactical dreadnought.
Yep.
Yeah. So why not, instead of this buster ass 3 up save, he should be a 2 up 5 up.
Yeah, and bring the toughness down 1 level and put him in line with a Dread Knight, because the Dread Knight's 135 with a 2 up 5 up, and you can tell it's because he's a Terminator, and so you can say this guy's 2 up 5 up, he's 35 points cheaper, but he doesn't have weapon skill 5, Force, Psychic, or Deep Strike. Where I'm like, dog, literally, how playable would Dreadnoughts be if they had 2 up 5 up right there, and nothing else changed?
Yeah. Now I want to go with this. What is an ironclad?
See, that's where it gets weird. It'd have to be a remap, because the extra toughness, you'd have to say like the ironclad has more attacks or has a better weapon skill, still has but ironclads also have all the extra weapons. You'd have it's more than just
ironclads are just like the Furiosos. They are armor 13.
Yeah, that's the same. So the armor is where it gets weird. You would have to just I don't know. Honestly, I want to say they're toughness 7 with a 2 up 5 up.
I would have to say that. I would think that in my mind. I think they're literally a toughness 7, 2 up 5 up.
That would be sick. And so, and here's how we play test. So, we don't just sit here and say this is what we think it should be. Let's throw one in an army. We're gonna play multiple games with multiple dreadnoughts at this stat line, and we're gonna let you know what we think. And that's the forging the narrative style games we do. Where we are doing narrative games. We've done it with the orcs. We've done it now with the dreadnoughts. Definitely check it out. It'll be on regular YouTubes in a couple of weeks. But if you can't wait, you know where it is.
Yep. And the last thing that I'll talk about is about the battle report is. Guys, we talk about giving walkers. Remember that. Now, we key in on dreadnoughts left and right. You all know that. But in this battle report, all walkers will have a toughness value. So you just kind of let that brew in your mind to know exactly what that means.
Hell yeah. Well,
So I think we should add a couple points on the what's new in FAQ, even though it's not really a new FAQ. It's Games Workshop wanting our suggestions for a Deathwatch FAQ.
Rob, what's new in the FAQ?
So can I pose a question? Did somebody not do their work today and send GW their FAQ? So they're like, we will get reamed through.
Do you think it's a coincidence that Mike Haspel isn't here tonight? And
Mike Haspel's not here. All of a sudden, they're like, oh, let's get everybody else involved. Our guy got sick, couldn't come to work today, so let's just get everybody else involved. We don't have the information. It doesn't matter what they actually want us to do. We're just going to have the document next week when it comes back. So let's just keep them happy. I just thought about that. Like,
got it right here. It was done the whole time, boss. Nailed it.
So what's your top picks? Because I know you're real proactive, and there's like over 300 questions. What's up?
Yeah, right now there's 360 comments up on there. I have it sorted by like the top one, and one of my comments is actually towards the top, mostly because there's people on there trolling me, which makes me giggle.
How many of those 360 comments are trolling you?
2.
Oh, that's not that bad.
That's a low ratio. I agree.
That's low for you.
Yeah, it's within acceptable tolerances, I feel like. No, it's all good. I mentioned something about the sudden onslaught special rule. That's where they get to deep strike in. Under teleport homers, it says that's a special rule. However, in the detachment, it's a command benefit. So I was like, hey, are command benefits special rules? Because that's pretty big for a lot of other formations. If they are,
you just say they are. It's kind of a big change. You know?
Yeah,
it kind of like is a blanket, fix to a lot of things.
Yeah, it could affect a lot of things. I also brought up the fact that under the Corvus Dark Stars data sheet, or Black Stars data sheet, the designer note seems to indicate a Death from the Sky supplement is optional. However, it says it replaces, in the Death from the Skies, it says it replaces all flyer rules. Well, which one is it? Is it optional? Is it, what's going on? Like, what do you guys, I mean, I'm sure they'll come back and be like, hey, if you're playing at home, you can just like choose.
They're gonna say, "Hey, man, do whatever you want, bro."
Yeah, probably. But I just thought it was interesting to.
You know what I say to that? You know what I say to that? I always do, motherfucker.
And then I brought up something too about how some of the formations, they let you take, a jump pack guy, a guy on bike, a guy on Terminator armor, but then you can have 10 of these dudes in a squad, and that squad can take a Corvus Black Star as a transport. However, the transport capacity on that's 12, so depending on the configuration you take, you might not be able to fit all those models in it because some of those guys count as multiple models.
Yeah, so if they take a flyer's dedicated transport, is flyer by itself in reserves and they're running around the table like the old days?
Oh, gosh, I don't even know.
Obviously that's what it is. Like, I don't know if that was their intent, if they don't think about things, like bikes are very bulky, I don't know. But.
Yeah, there's definitely there maybe should be an example. It was just something I thought of as I was writing it. There's a couple of things in here too, about how does it affect Forge World stuff? Like, what Forge World stuff can they take? John Christensen actually said, where are the fire arcs on the Corvus Black Star's weapons? Because the Hurricane Bolter's on top and the bomb launchers, make it difficult to shoot ground targets. And if you actually put the model together, it has 2 different ways you can position the flight stand. You can position out perfectly 180 horizontal, or to rough 45 pointed at the ground. So, like, what's the intent there, Games Workshop? Can we choose which way we put it on the flight stand? Is there a specific way to put it on a flight stand?
Also, are we saying firing arcs 45 degrees? Are we saying 45 degrees all directions, up and down? Because we've always had to figure this out as we go, and the main rulebook kind of indicates that it's 45 degrees period, meaning you would literally, a Storm Raven can never shoot the ground with its lattice cannons. You know what I mean? Like, so Church. Is it so what's the intent there? Obviously, fighter jets dive onto the enemy and then pull out of the dive. So you have to just let us know how you want us to play that.
All right, 2 things. You always everybody got to pull out of the dive. 2, why have there been so many Death from the Skies, Skies from Deaths Above's Part 2, Death from the Skies Part 3, introducing Helldrakes again? Like, there's been literally more flyer books than I can remember.
We know you saw them the first time, but they're here again.
Why in the ball sack have they not said, hey, you have to be 6.5 inches away from a flyer base before the guns can see you. Like Nova tried to do 1 year. Why haven't they addressed that issue? It's kind of
Yep.
surprising.
Maybe they
And
just
also-
don't realize sometimes.
we don't know how they play. Like their play testing is different than ours. And something that Haspel always brings up, his main beef with the Stormraven, being the fact that he's an Academy grad Air Force guy, he's like, you would never make like a plane that was designed to like just strafe people with guns on the top. The guns would always be in the bottom. Because think about how extreme of a dive the Stormraven actually has to be in to shoot the ground.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, just being super nerd right now, the A-10, the Warthog, right, the ground attack fighter jet, literally comes in, it passes over its target inverted, like literally the pilot is looking down in the canopy at the ground, visually locating his target, then it comes back around and comes in low for his attack run, like just to make sure he knows where his stuff is. Like
I just want to say that now I take everything back. That seems like the fucking stupidest way to fly an airplane. So I'm literally retracting all my statements. GW, you're doing everything fine. Because that's in real life we do stupid shit like that. So never mind.
I mean, that's the best example I can think of in real life.
Good to go. Shit is dumb. Got it.
We're all just a bunch of stupids. Anyways,
We're stupid as shit.
check out this FAQ question. I love this one. This is really exciting. Do frag cannons fire a 2d3 each for the Wall of Death in Overwatch per the template ruling in the FAQ, which states they fire Overwatch equal to their shooting profile because it's technically Assault 2.
They have already mentioned in an FAQ though that no, that they already said the frag cannon like on the Dreadnought is only 1d3.
Oh, they did on the Blood Angels. Yep.
Yeah, they already said that it's 1d3.
That's what they get for stealing stuff from the Blood Angels again. Gosh.
Yep. So if they FAQ'd that, say, nah, we're good to GG, they get 2d3, I'll be like, fuck everything.
They literally have the best weapon in the history of it.
And how does that even make sense? Like, it is an Assault 2 weapon that is a flamer. Like, how is... So it shoots twice in the shooting phase?
It's the difference between
33% of the
squeezing
time?
the trigger twice versus squeezing it once. Come on, man.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
seriously.
Like,
It actually doesn't have a trigger. It has like a grip, like a brake on your bike. Like it's just got a grip. You just squeeze it and then you let go.
It seems like I'm a burn. I mean, also like the fact that it's only D3 hits is insane. Like it should be D6.
yeah, like the Overwatch aspect for the firepower that you receive is literally, if it's so left-sided, like, oh, you're out of range, that's okay. Your flame template is 30 inches away, but you're still assaulting the unit, you can still shoot D3 times. All these other, like, super left side of the interpretation is the ruling, and you're going to rule against 2D3 on the frag cannon? Like, come on, bro.
Maybe it's because they knew they were coming out with this new stupid frag cannon.
Oh, wow, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's because they're like, oh, we can't give you that because everyone's about to be running like 8 units of 5 of these things.
Yeah, we're about to shit all over this old frag cannon. You'll understand why in a couple months.
Yo, so let's take a break real quick. But before we go to that, make sure you go over, check out the FAQ on GW's site, and make your voice heard because they're asking for our help. Let's give it to them. I mean, there's only 360 comments on there right now. Come on, guys. We can add at least 300 more.
Easily.
All right, we'll be right back.
Dear veterans, quickly make your way to thelongwar.net and find out how to reap your hard-earned spoils of this long war. For our allies at dicehead.com have rewarded us all with an extra 6% discount on all dicehead.com merchandise. So stock up, dear veterans, and enjoy. Dear veterans, quickly make your way to thelongwar.net and find out how to reap your hard-earned spoils of this long war. For our allies at secretweaponsminiatures.com have rewarded us all with an extra 10% discount on all Secret Weapon Miniatures merchandise. So stock up, dear veterans, and enjoy.
All right, and we're back. So now we're going to jump into Traitors Hate.
Traitors Hate.
Oh.
I only have a little bit more drink. I need to drink it right now.
You might need to
Go get a helping assault.
Yeah,
God.
get your
I got my
corn chips
bourbon and my
salsa
beer
verde.
salt. Yeah.
All right.
So Worcestershire and bourbon. Let's go.
Yep.
Oh, so delicious. Don't tease me. So Kenny, what are the three things we need
I don't know. What are they, man? Fuck.
for this to not suck?
I mean, right out the gate, are we saying what are the minimums I would need to play this fucking codex and not be butthurt? What's the top three? What are we asking?
Well, okay, let's do minimums too, but let's do what do we need to actually motivate
we
me?
We need a demi company, motherfuckers.
Yes, we need free shit.
We need a demi company. If they've already said with these new second powers that we're basically getting the mirror image of the Imperium's version of it, that indicates fluff wise that we have new Space Marine recruits all the time that are fucking coming to the good side and coming to chaos. They're bringing their knowledge, they're bringing their new shit with them. That's why we have these second powers, which is why we have all this discipline and shit, and that's also the same argument with they should know no fear why we should have it. We should have it. So I'm saying we should have a demi company. We didn't lose tactics in 10,000 years. You know what I mean?
Actually develop more. You
develop more and probably more, in a harsher climate. So I'm saying some demi company equivalent, which means I want a formation where transports are free, everything's objective secure. It could be literally the same shit. Havoc squads, Raptors, or so find another fast attack choice. We don't have attack bikes, but under that category you also have we can have spawn. Because spawner is literally 1 to 5. So you can say spawn is the fast attack or Raptors is the fast attack, Havoc or Obliterators is the heavy, and fucking Chaos Space Marines as your obligatory tactical marine equivalent. And then under auxiliary for command squad you could say chosen. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You have Chaos Lord and Dark Apostle as your two possible HQs, and also under Command Auxiliary we have a Cyclopean Cabal, just like they get fucking Librarius Conclave. Literally just fucking do it.
Yeah, I think there's a big opportunity here for them to draw from the other supplements and plug and play them into any Decurion or
Chaos back over fucking night. Chaos back.
Yeah.
And it's not even as good as the Space Marine Demi Company, because we haven't even talked about fucking chapter tactics or anything.
Right, which I think I think they need that. They're for what they are right now. Let's be honest, they're not going to change the points. They're not going to adjust anything out of the base Chaos Space Marine book. I don't feel like they're just going to either add or supplement.
Yeah,
so
I'm not going to have grav cannons. I'm not gonna have any of that shit. I'm gonna have 5-point fucking auto cannons and shit like that. I'm gonna have a couple of cool options that are chaosy. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have a couple of vehicle upgrades that they don't have, and I'm gonna pay a little bit more points for some of my units, but I have other cool units. Like if I can take a chaos spawns instead of the attack bike, I think that's really fucking strong. If I could, you know what I mean? If I could take obliterators instead of the havocs, but even havocs, 4 havocs with fucking autocannons is strong. So there's all sorts of techniques there. And I would say that's definitely on my top 3. Give me this to be dope.
I think everybody wants to see a return to doctrine/veteran skills.
That would be another one. We don't need doctrines, but give us the veteran. I'll pay for the fucking thing. I know doctrines are fucking free, but I would love to be just bring me back my veteran list and say bring me back tank hunter, infiltrator, whatever, all those cool things where you pay literally tank hunter was a point a marine, and infiltrator was 3 points a marine, and your whole unit could have infiltrate. Give me those back and let me pay for them, for fucking God's sakes. I'll pay all day. And then in the demi company, let me get some of them for free. Let me get,
Yeah, absolutely. If anybody's going to have a demi company where they get free stuff, it needs to be these guys. We've talked about it all the time. The door is wide the hell open for a demi company that allows, a stubborn across the board. It is.
And obviously, leadership manipulation is a big command benefit. We need a command benefit that doesn't suck, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. And there's a lot of stuff out there that not only is there bust from gods, but, that each one, so somebody playing devil's advocate is oh, well, we get doctrines, but you get, depending on what god you worship, you get these extra bonuses and stuff. It's like we're not even in the same realm, guys. We're not playing the same game.
I pay 5 points per guy for toughness 5 when I can fail a leadership at 9 check and run off the table and fucking get swept.
Like paying for something to get a characteristic bonus is not the same as army-wide, twin-linked, army-wide, turn by turn augments. It's not in the same league.
It's easy, so and summarize the top 3. A way to manipulate leadership through a command benefit, a detachment that gives us free shit, and combat doctrine equivalents. This is my top 3 for making chaos work.
All right, I could definitely see that. What are your minimum requirements to make chaos work?
Okay, so we talked about this briefly, and we're talking, let's say they fucked everything up, right? They fucked everything up. They didn't give me one thing from our top 3 list they just gave us, but they gave us at least one of these. I would still be happy. And I think the one that is biggest for me is give me the ability to purchase a demonic alignment on demon as well as Mark. Because right now, you have obliterators are demons, Mauler Fiends, Forge Fiends are demons, Warp Talons are demons, and Possessor demons. Give me the ability to purchase a demonic alignment in addition to my Mark, and I'm GG all about that again. Because now what you're talking about is Nurgle obliterators with demon and Nurgle, so they have fucking Shroud. That's a good obliterator.
Yeah, we talked about it in detail tonight on how epic I think the Warp Talons are. You made a great analogy by saying that a Warp Talon are like mini Helldrakes. They're that intricate. They're that the iconography everywhere is just amazing. Like, those guys with Shroud, those guys with 4-up invulnerable because of Tzeentch reroll 1s. Like,
think about obliterators, Marcus, with Demon of Tzeentch. 2-up rerollable, right there in the profile.
Yeah.
And people might say that's like super OP, but it's like you're talking about a unit of guys that cost 3 models that cost 250 points that are toughness 4, leadership 8, not fearless. Like, yes, 2-up armor save rollable with a 4-up invulnerable rerolling once. They need that with the magazines to not fucking just get completely obliterated as obliterators. Like, that's not even like that makes that makes that unit work. Like, when I compare them to fucking Centaurians, you know what I mean? Like they're not even close to as good as Centaurians, but that would make them work in a Thousand Suns themed army.
Yeah, and that's just what's so crazy to me is sometimes when we kind of like boost and boast about something that we want, some people are like, oh man, that's just too ridiculous. Like, yeah, but it sounds ridiculous because in a vacuum what we're talking about, but ultimately if you compare it up against some of the cheaper point costed units that are in its category in other books, you're like, oh wow, never mind. You're right. You need that.
Yeah, first off, a chapter master is going to run in there and kill those 3 Tzeentch obliterators still. Like, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a way to make them not get wiped off the table on turn 1. Like a grav cannon is still gonna kill them. But that would be like if you gave me the ability to purchase demonic, like a Mauler Fiend with fucking Mark and Nurgle, anything. You gave me the ability to purchase demonic alignments, and you didn't do one other thing. I'm gonna be happy all of a sudden.
Oh yeah, for real.
Because that's also like the Demonkin. It's like giving us a little bit of a Demonkin flavor, like the Core Demonkin. So you don't even have to come out with other Demonkin books if you just gave us this ability. And that's just one of the fucking my minimums. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think another minimum we talked about is if you can give me one other thing, but you gave me there's like 11 data slates in there. If you gave me at least 1 or 2 data slates that were as good as the Gore Pack, which the Gore Pack is 2 units of Space Marine Bikers, which suck balls. Like, Space Marine Bikes suck, but they unlock like 0 to 3 Fleshhound units, which don't suck. If you gave me something on that level, we're like, let's give me a Space Marine version of that. Mm-hmm. 2 minimum Space Marine Biker units and 0 to 3 Chaos Spawn in a formation. Because then I can take 2 3-man units of bikes, and then now I can take 3 units of like 3 Nurgle Spawn. Like, give me something that's min-max essentially. Like, give me data slates that aren't 1,000 points of useless shit. Give me data slates that are like, 100 points of things that are sort of not that great, but are still useful to unlock other things in multitude. And so on the level of Gore Pack. Give me some of those. Give me at least 2 of those out of the 11 data slates. I'll stop complaining.
You mean you don't want a demon prince with 3 possessed as something cool?
I don't know what words I can use to express how
Garbage.
I mean, yeah, garbage. I mean, it's not even the right word, dog. Like, since Demonkin came out, they came out with their Decarion, and they made you buy a fucking unit of those fucking possessed to make that whole thing work. And I was like, you're paying 150 points for the worst unit in 40k? Like,
Yeah.
Fuck that, man. Like, and now they're talking about like 3 of them in a Demon Prince. You want to know what the word? Like, god damn it, dog. Like, look at goddamn Wolfen.
I mean, there's so yeah. Don't even get me started. I mean, we talked about that when Wolfen
if
dropped.
they were just Wolfen, like with no like 2 wounds, feel no pain, 4 up armor save, nothing else, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they would be better than they are now. Like
so much better.
Like fuck, man. No. Like I know those are gonna be in there, but give me like 2 good. Give me 2 more. Like we have the Cyclopia Cabal, but give me like 2 more fucking cool MSU things. You know what I mean? Like give me. You know, because look at the Space Marine Codex. Look how many good ones there are. There's the one in there. Space Marine have like 10th Company Task Force, 1st Company Strike Force, the Skyhammer Force or whatever it is, like the one with the fucking 3 fly. Like give me something with like all those things. You know what I mean? Like give me one that's like 2 Mauler Fiends and a fucking Tech Marine guy. You know what I mean? Like little ones like that'd be useful. You know? Like,
so much potential.
Yeah, I think we had one more for minimums.
Oh, does it involve Lucius the Eternal?
Lucius the fucking Eternal. Just make it official, and this is the rule I propose. He always has to issue and accept challenges because that's chaos, right? And when this happens, he automatically wins the challenge. The enemy model is removed from play. Lucius the Eternal is now turned into a spawn.
Every time.
Every time, 100%.
His stat line as a spawn, just a spawn stat line versus him. Literally all day, every day. I played him at Adepticon, and I would have under every single scenario. I repeat, every single, not one, nan, one time. Can't nobody say that nan another like you say that nan another, but can't no time that I could think of. Wouldn't have rather had a spawn.
Yep. all day, every fucking day, man.
So
like,
brutal.
give me, just make it official. Just say this is what he does, because you know what? There's a powerful tactic to that rule. Like, because if you don't want to get into it with some tactical marines, because remember his rule right now is he scales down his abilities in a challenge, right?
Mm-hmm.
If he's fighting a Space Marine Sergeant, he sucks because he's like wanting to like make the fight last longer. So basically, you're saying I don't want to get into fights with Space Marine Sergeants because like this is going to happen to me. So you're trying to throw them into that Death Star, so you can kill like their apothecary or their chapter master or their chaplain. You know, give me something crazy like that. Like give me that, I will be like, you know what, fine. You finally admitted that he sucks. You know what I mean?
Or they can even do something where he's got the duelist ability, like he gets to choose who he goes up against.
It doesn't matter. He gets to choose who. Like okay, word.
Well, obviously he needs better survivability.
Hold on a second.
But still.
If you could just choose anybody in the combat who you were going to duel, would that have helped?
No, because everybody kills him one-on-one.
Yeah, because you would have. Cause like, what about that one time we were playing? It was a squad of 10 stupid, shooty Stormbolter Power Fist Terminators and fucking Saint Celestine. If you said, "Hey, I'd rather duel the Terminator Chaplain with a Terminator Sergeant with a Power Fist and a Stormbolter," I'll duel him. And then you hit him with because you scale down, you hit him with 3 attacks, AP3. He makes his 2 up saves, and then he insta kills you with the Power Fist.
Yeah.
All day, every day.
First off, I want you to know the Sergeant isn't even going to have the Power Fist because it's the shooting ones. That motherfucker had a Power Sword and a Stormbolter and beat my ass down. Okay, like it's not even in the same realm. He needs to go back to Heresy because he was a badass then. He is not now.
Nope, he's been sleeping on the couch for 10,000 years, bro.
I don't know what you guys did with Lucius the Eternal, but I want him back.
Lucius the couch potato.
Yeah.
The worst. So what can't happen here? What can this book not do?
So top 3 if you do this, you're the biggest dicks on earth. Top 3, right? Like
I don't know if
you,
I'd word it that way, but
well,
yeah.
no, you are the biggest dicks because you already have you already have a fucking like we're talking about the fucking linchpin of the fucking lore that surrounds Warhammer 40k is chaos.
It's
That
definitely
is
their own IP. That's
it's
for
the
sure.
linchpin of what makes the Grimdark work, right? This whole political feud that we had 10,000 years ago, the two sides of the coin, like, you know, all the fucking cool shit. That's where like all the OG fucking blood gets boiling. You know what I mean? Like chaos is important to fucking the lore. And right now, it's like, wait, they're not even a threat, man. Like, how was this a thing? So here's 3 things they can't do. First thing on my list is you cannot give this the Gosgo supplement treatment. And the Gosgo supplement treatment isn't like, there's actually good data slates in the Gosgo supplement. Like there's actually, I'm always looking at the commando supplement, like the Snickrot and 3 commando units as one data slate. Cause like in that data slate, they all have like Shroud the turn they fucking come in from the sides. So I'm like, or Stealth and Shroud for his unit. Like, you know, like literally I'm like, that's a lot of MSU. That's a lot of survivability. Like that's useful. Like, okay, give me some, like if you gave me a couple things like that in the chaos, I'd be happy. But here's the biggest problem with the fucking Gazgo supplement. The carrots, they fucking dangle in front of us. There's 2 relics, and this is what I'm mainly focusing on, the relic section. Every supplement's going to come with some new fucking relics. Okay? And there's going to be 2 or 3 in there that are going to be like baller to sort of baller. Like Hunter's Eye was our most baller one recently for fucking White Scars, and they just said, everyone gets this, don't worry about it. You know? You can get this and the Shield Eternal. What? You know what I mean? Your chaplain and your demi company, he can have this, and he can hang out with some fucking devastators. Like, you know what I mean? And they can have fucking Sigmund, and they can do like 2 rerollable fucking, you know, grab cannon shots they can recover. Like, yo, okay, that's tight. So here's what happened with Gosgo supplement. They gave us 2. They dangled 2 in front of us. Big boss pole, which makes the unit fearless. That's a game changer for motherfucking orcs. To have a boss pole in your fucking like knob biker unit with your war bosses and your pain boy, and they're just fearless now. Okay, so they had that, and they also had the super custom mega force field back to the OG days of 4+ invulnerables against shooting, 75 points, right? All day, day. If you just said I could have those 2 relics in my orc CAD, that is a 25% minimum boost to the strength of orcs. 2 fucking relics. And then you came up with this fucking stupid sentence at the end of the fucking section that said, this list of relics is only available to data slates presented in this document. Like in this book. Like so that cannot happen. If you fucking do me like that, GW, if you give me a fucking relic section with some fucking chaos fixes, and then you say it's only available to this, and then the rest of your supplement evolves around a Decurion that has a 600 point minimum investment in fucking boys and trucks, like, I'm gonna be super
savagery.
Yeah, kicking the pants all day.
Like, yeah, and that takes us to our second point. You can't have this Decurion cannot center around a bunch of bullshit 600 point minute. It can't be Abaddon, 10 Terminators, and fucking a Demon Prince of fucking 15 Chosen as your minimum requirement. You can't have those be your auxiliaries. I mean your cores. If those are the cores, like, you've made the Decurion useless. And if one of your follow up data slates isn't like a demi company, like, you know, you better default to the other chart where we said, will you let me purchase demonic alignments or something? Like, that's a big deal. It's not even hard. You're talking about the early word out the gate is 11 data slates in this thing? 11 formations? Okay, we already know 2 of them are garbage, though. I mean, but still,
Yeah.
it's still 9.
That's one thing. I don't mean to interrupt, but like that number kind of bothers me a little bit. 11. When have we seen them mass produce for an army something like, for example, the NIDS? They put out, now all of ours were considered formations, but you know, they went on like, Lord have mercy, I think it was 20. It felt like within a month, and they were hot garbage shy of 2.
Yeah.
All hot garbage. So, I hope that we don't just see them filling the pages to say that they've got, a 15 or 30, 50-page book worth of content just to throw it out there.
Yeah,
As we've seen sometimes, even with their FAQs, air quotes.
Like, there's going to be one that's like a Lord in Terminators. Okay, got it. I know. So we're down to 9 that we know. So we know 2 are stupid. We know we have the Lord of Skulls, and we have the 15 fucking Possessed and the Demon Prince. So like we're down to 9 possible things here. Now, are they going to recycle like Cyclopean Cabal in here? Rob? Like, is this going to also be a collection of existing fucking data slates?
We don't know. I mean, we know that Lord of Skulls is going to be in there, and probably Karn. Kind of like they did with what was his name, Ulrich, the Slayer out of Space Wolves. Something else to keep in mind.
Do you think they are going to categorize all existing formations of data slates for Chaos?
I don't know.
Like they did with Tau, basically.
Well, it's not a codex replacement, so I would say no. I would say this is going to be new content.
Under the guise of new content, that means there's not going to be Cyclopean Cabal and all that bullshit. So that means we have 9 things. Guaranteed, one of them is going to be something with Lords and Terminators, so we're down to 8.
Mm-hmm.
Right out the gate, so we have 8. Guaranteed there's going to be one where you have to take a whole shitload of Raptors. Right? We're down to 7. Okay? So we have 7 chances now to give me something on the level of a Gore Pack, right? And something on the level of like the 10th Company Scout thing and the fucking Orc Commandos, because that's what the Orc Commandos version of that is. Like something along those lines. If it was like 3 units of Cultists at Offlink, like, okay, I would take that. You know what I mean? Like, god damn it, finally something. Like it. So I think realistically we have 5 to 7 shots in the dark at getting 1 or 2 good data slates.
Well, I'm definitely hopeful. I mean, they can't keep stuff the same. Like, they got to make moves here. Now, granted, caveats aside, I think every veteran Chaos player that played 3.5 expects, we'll take nothing less than I want it exactly like that. That's probably not going to happen. But, you just got to keep an open mind, I feel like, and, take what we can get. Maybe I dig out the Iron Warriors, maybe I don't. But, at the end of the day, something's always better than nothing, and I think it's pretty cool with Games Workshop's, coming right out of the gate with this following up Deathwatch.
No, I mean, obviously, the only reason I speak so harshly on the subject is because, like, I've been shit on by this fucking subject so long. I will play it I will play my Chaos no matter what. But damn, man, this is just a collection of like, yo, literally give me one of these, and I won't bitch for another 4 years.
It's and it's like we say, hey, why did you start playing 40K? I saw that, I walked in the store, I saw the Dreadnoughts, they look fresh. Then I bought one, I tried to play it, they suck. It's kind of like that for Chaos too. Like, oh, these Chaos guys, these look fresh, I want to play them. How do you win with Chaos? Dinobots, Cultists, what's that all about? I don't know.
I miss the days when it was like, I'm playing Night Lords, so I can take an extra fast attack choice, like shit like that. Like,
get my extra Iron Warriors heavy support, which really isn't that big of a deal anymore.
It doesn't mean shit today. Yeah, give me.
Yeah, like it really doesn't. Like
they need to have like an Iron Warriors cohort. All models in this detachment have fucking tank hunter. Something like that. Like,
even something like you could pay, like if you take this formation or whatever, you can make this formation one of the legions by paying X amount of points, or the negative points even. And some of them, I feel like they should be negative points, depending on their characteristics. So comparing them to standard Space Marines, I feel like there's room for drop-in points in some instances, which, like I said, we're not really going to see, I don't feel like.
Our boy Chris McMiles asked me earlier, do you think they need free units or free war gear? Chaos is definitely an army that would benefit highly from free war gear.
Yeah. It's almost like the patches they do for X-Wing, where they come out with a title card or something, or a modification card, which basically inherently changes the way a ship works. By keeping the ship exactly the same, you just get this modification. It may be 0, or it might actually be negative points in some instances, and then it fundamentally changes immediately overnight. That ship is fielded.
If you got one formation where like it was like a lord, a unit of chosen with and all war gear was free. Like, I'd be about that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, give me something. You know, like, basically we know what the formula is. You know,
Right.
we know that free shit is it makes things better. So do it. Just do it.
Don't you tell that to the War Convocation players. That is not true.
Free shit is good. Can't argue with it. And to be honest, we're going down this path. I don't like it when one army has an unfair advantage versus some others. Like if all the books are going to come out, and 3 of the 7 books or 9 books or whatever have 500 points of the free stuff, I truly believe every book that comes out, every army. Do you know what NIDS could do if I didn't have to spend upgrades on my Hive Tyrants and I could just have 125 point, 145 point Hive Tyrants and save 110 points in upgrades? That's literally 500 points of free upgrades in 5 Flying Hive Tyrants. Every army in
Imagine
40K
this for
is
NIDS.
infinite times better.
Imagine if you took 30 Gaunts, you got a Turbogon for free.
I mean, are you kidding me? 195 points of free Gaunts.
Imagine if you took, like, imagine if that was the rule. 30 Gaunts. Remember, because it was like 30 Gaunts back in the old days unlocked a Turbogon.
Turbogon. That's how it is now. Yep.
So 30 Gaunts don't unlock one. 30 of them give you one free.
Yeah.
Like, that would be like,
unbelievable.
got it. So I've got 2 units of 30 Gaunts and 2 free Turbogons.
Mm.
Like, yo, literally, you're like, that's not even a break. That doesn't even break the fucking game. That does not break the game.
Nope.
No. Like, fuck, man, just do that. Like, I mean, I can't believe GW hasn't hired us yet.
Yeah, that's where we're at. It's like if it's gonna happen for one, let it happen for a couple, and let's see where the game ends up. We'll be at Unbound in no time, or we'll be at I like it, Age of Sigmar before they put rules to it. It's like, yo, literally just show up with models.
It'll totally be fair and balanced.
Like,
It'll work itself out.
What if this was the rule? What if the rule was you had to have a display board that was 2x2, and you couldn't stack models on top of each other, but however many models you could put on the display board, like with bases flat to the display board, was how many models you're allowed to have.
Oh.
End of discussion. Like, that's it. That's the rules.
I like it.
Suddenly we get out our army builders. Good for them. What's the math? What's the math on 25 millimeter? How does that equate to inches?
Yep.
Ridiculous.
Well, here's the kicker. They all have to be in unit coherency, like maximum unit coherency.
Oh. Now we got to start bringing math into this?
I love it.
Ridiculous. Well, I think we went over a little bit of time, but that's okay. We started
talking about chaos, homie.
I mean, it is chaos. Love chaos.
We went to Adepticon this year and won best heretical team. We love chaos.
Church.
So obviously we bring Sisters of Battle next year.
We are. We definitely are.
I know. Why not? Oh boy. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna get out of here. Thanks for listening. Haspel isn't here tonight to take us out, so I will just leave you with the standard. Make sure you head on over to thelongwar.net. That's the home of the battle reports for exclusive content, early access videos, and more. Become a veteran of the Long War today.
If you like these battle reports, check out thelongwar.net. Become a member of the Hall of Veterans today for the fastest growing library of wargame related video content, modeling, painting, and playing, not to mention all the sick discounts I receive from some of our sponsors. TheLongwar.net is committed to bringing hobby back, and we can't do it without you.